Hey everybody, John Paddock with the Mohave Valley Daily News. We are trying something new today. We're going to do a Q&A live session here. The goal is that if you guys have questions that we have questions on stories that we put in the paper or things that are going on in the community that you have questions about, I'm hoping that we have the answers, some things that we can clarify for you and that as well. Well, we're going to start by going through a couple of questions that we got on our daily dose this morning. If you don't know, we do a live broadcast every morning at 7:30 on our Facebook page, our Twitch, our Instagram, our YouTube. We have them all over the place, so you can tune in and see those 7:30 in the morning. I have Jeff over here. Off in the distance, hitting
I'm
all
over
the right
in the far 40.
Hitting the right buttons and pressing all the right keys. So, if you have a question, please put it in the comments here. We will we'll take a look at them and try to answer them if we know the answer to it. I'm going to start with a couple of them that we have from this morning. We talked a little bit about the vaccine effort here in Mohave County. One of the questions that came in was from Kathy Flores, asked if there is a link to inquire or keep checking when or if they will offer the vaccine again at the Aquarius Casino or anywhere in Laughlin. So I spoke with Kane Wickham. Kane is our Laughlin reporter. He reached out to the Chamber of Commerce. He reached out to the Aquarius. He reached out to the supervisor NAFT for Clark County to find out anything. The only information that they have so far is that sometime in the first week of March, they will have the second vaccine for the almost 2,000 people that went back in January that had the 2-day event at the Aquarius. So those, I think it was 1,981 people over 2 days that got their first vaccine there. They will be eligible to get the second vaccine, again, at the Aquarius, sometime early in March. You'll still have to go in and do a reserve your spot, but those will be available. As far as anybody who doesn't have their first shot, there's nothing in plans right now or nothing firmly entrenched of when they're going to do another first vaccine in Laughlin or in the Clark County area down there. Grace Hecht from the who's part of Hildy Angus's office there. She did post a link to mohavecounty.us. We've been telling you over and over that if you need to find, if you're in Laughlin, if you're in Mohave County, if you're in Needles, if you're visiting here from Ohio, you go to there and you are eligible to get your vaccines as long as you're in the, as of today, 65 and over, or anybody in the 1A group, or teachers now are eligible as well, anybody that takes care of children. As long as you're in one of those groups, you can go to mohavecounty.us, see where the vaccines are being distributed here in Mohave County. It also tells you how to register for them and get yourself a vaccine. We had another question here. Can you be out of the area for radiology? That was for Tri-State Radiology. Yes, you can. Where can a 71-year-old woman with severe COPD get vaccinated? Again, mohavecounty.us. All right, so let's see if we have anything posted yet.
There is one.
There is one? All right, let's see what it says.
From Sandy.
Why doesn't Arizona let when is the age limit for 65 going to be for vaccines? Sandy, that's as of today. It was released 2 days ago that they're going to be doing that. If you tried to do a appointment 2 days ago, if you set it for yesterday or Monday, you wouldn't be able to get anything. But you can as of now. They've opened it up for 1B. So all the teachers and educational staff and child care workers and all that, they have opened it up for them as well, and 65 and over. There was a nice story today by Dave Hawkins. He's our guy up in Kingman, talking about the update on the vaccines. Mohave County is getting, I think it was 3,000 vaccines a week for a county of 210,000 people. Supervisor Johnson said it is going to take forever for us to get all of our people that vaccinated, but we're figuring that it's somewhere around 40%, 35 to 40% of them aren't interested in getting vaccinated anyway. So that opens it up for the rest of us. Fauci yesterday said that he believes that it is going to be probably around July 1st where everybody will have access to it. So whether you want to get vaccinated or not, that's on you. So, okay, we don't have any other questions put in there. Oh, it says 10, but I only see a couple.
Oh, they'll be coming, trust me.
Whoops.
We had a good article yesterday about the homeless
All right,
situation. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll get some questions about that.
Yeah, there was some misinformation put out, not by us, but by some people out there. Not really misinformation, just we need some clarifying. But Sandy also put in, who's accepting appointments for second vaccines? Who's accepting appointments for second vaccines? Well, for most of the people that have been getting their vaccines, you can go back to where you got your first one. We know that people that got their first one at D-flat were given appointments to come back at a later date, typically around the 22nd, for the big push that they had at D-flat pharmacy. So we're going to be, I know some people that are going this weekend to get their second one at D-flat because they had it roughly a month ago. So we know that that's going to be that's going to be going on down there. Where can educators go? Same thing, Tiffany. Anybody that is giving them now, anybody that is giving the vaccines is now able to go and get their if you're in 1A or 1B, you can go get your first vaccine or your second vaccine. You're all set there. So educators, the fire personnel and police and everybody else that was in 1A and the first part of 1B, remember the first vaccine and the second vaccine are the same. You just have to prove that that's what you've had. They're the same vaccine. If you got your first one and it was the Pfizer one, they recommend that you stick with the Pfizer one. In an emergency, you could get the Moderna one if you're not going to be able to get that, but they want you to do the same. Tiffany, you got to go to the mohavecounty.us. If you've gone there to the website and there's people that are giving appointments, but they're saying that they're not allowing you to have an appointment because you're an educator, then you have to let us know. But if they're giving vaccines, you are now eligible. As of today, you're now eligible as a 65 and up, or a educator or child care provider. Embry has no ideas for second vaccines. I don't know what Embry has over there as far as their quantity of vaccines they have. Remember, everyone is limited by the amount of vaccines that they are being given by the county health department. So if they're not being given any, then we haven't heard anything about Embry running out of vaccines over there, or running out of appointments or anything. So I'll check into that and see what is the deal with Embry. I was told the second is a lesser vaccine. It is a booster. mohavecounty.us. All right, if anybody, Tiffany, if you called and you said I wanted to go, so Tiffany's question was, I did, and all the places say they are not accepting appointments or not giving it to educators yet. Everybody who is given vaccines starting today is directed to allow 65 and over and educators. So that is not something that they can dictate. That's something that is dictated by the county health department and our board of supervisors. They've opened it up to 65 and over, as well as the educators. So if they tell you that, Yesterday you couldn't. Today and from now on you can. So give them another shot. Jeff put the website on there, so you can click on that, go to the COVID-19 page, and see what we got, what they have there. Yes, the second vaccine is a booster. We're hearing most of the people that are getting sick are people that were fine with the first shot. They got their second shot, and they usually it's later on in that day or the next morning. They're having issues with soreness and headaches and fatigue and that kind of thing. So just be prepared when you get your second shot that it could be not the prettiest thing you've ever dealt with. So let's see if we got anything in here that I may have missed.
Is that like one of those shots you get and it hurts for hours later?
Well, I haven't been able to get my shot yet because even though I look like I'm over 65, I am not. My wife is a healthcare provider, and she Paul DeShano, she got her first shot, and she had some soreness later on that day and the next day. Actually, for a couple of days she had soreness, but she is not. She's getting ready for her second shot, so we'll see how badly that deals with her. All right, what was Maria's question?
It was what's being built across from Target.
Well, if you're talking on Highway 95 there, there's a couple things that are being built in the area. One is a Jimmy John's, which is kind of cool because the way that, and that's something that we need to discuss here. It's nice seeing you, Paul. Don't be a stranger. Paul DeShano, I used to coach with him, and he's a good person. Over the past few years, well, let's go back to this. The person in charge of economic development for the county is Tammy Ursenbach, and I'm telling you, she's amazing at her job. The person who's responsible for economic development in Bullhead City is our city manager, Toby Cotter. So Toby Cotter, the mayor, sometimes city council, and I was invited as the chamber president to go on a couple of these as well, would go to different conventions and promote Bullhead City. So we would meet with the, anytime on grocery store workers yet? All right, we'll get to that in a second. So we would meet with different restaurant chains and businesses and everything else and try and get them to come to Bullhead City. We'd put on a great presentation. The city does a nice job with their booths. They would make these candy bars they would inscribe them with Bullhead City logos and stuff on it. It was awesome. But what we would run into is when you get, everyone wants a Sprouts or a Trader Joe's or a Olive Garden or, some of these things. What you have to understand is every one of them have a limitation or a requirement. And typically it was a population requirement, but a lot of times for some of the more expensive places, you would get a medium household income, annual income, and you had to be above your average household had to be making more than $70,000 or $100,000, or you had to have 100,000 people within 6 miles or whatever. They all had very strict requirements as to what that was going to be. So every time we get one of these places, the Jimmy John's, the Dairy Queen, the Dairy Queen is a little liberal in theirs, but Jersey Mike's was one that was difficult with. It takes a lot of work from these guys to get those businesses to come into town. So it's not like you can, what's wrong with you, Toby? How come you don't call Trader Joe's and tell them to come down here? It's taken a lot of lobbying. Sometimes it takes years of lobbying. A few years ago, this is how one of these conventions, this is how Smart and Final ended up in their new location, is that they were there and they wanted to expand and do this Smart and Final Plus in Bullhead City. And Toby met with them, and it just so happened at the same time that something else was going on, that he was able to get them to buy the liquor license from the other business and move into that. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and we need to celebrate Toby and Tammy Ursenbach. And we got a new guy, Darren Cook, here in town. I haven't had a chance to meet with him yet, but I know his duties, from what I understand, is to work with businesses in town and see what is going on with what they need help with, what he can do on the economic development side. There's Jeff. Hey, Jeff Schachter. Yes, I already answered Maria's question. It's a Jimmy John's that's going on down there on I-95 near Target. I think it's a shame we have all these empty buildings in Bullhead City and new ones are being built while the others are standing empty. Why is that? Well, part of it is if you are starting a new business that's not a franchise, then you can do that. But a lot of these franchises have their set footprint, and the perfect example is the Dairy Queen Jersey Mike's one. They have a footprint on how these people, a blueprint on how these things are set up. So that's what they go with. Some of them we're running into are just not wanting to sell them or rent their space or lease the space for the amount that people want to spend on them, and it's a lot cheaper for them just to build something new. So that's what we run into. What was any time frame on grocery store workers yet? Grocery store workers are going to be in the same as newspaper reporters and social media guys. We're all going to be, we're in 2 and 3. Essential workers, but not frontline workers, not 65 and over, not medical professionals and that. So I think that we're all in 2. They're expecting that's going to be sometime probably in May. It was released yesterday or the day before that they believe that this group, the 65 and over group, is 65 to 74, which is the next age group, is somewhere around 28,000 people in the county. So if we're getting 3,000 vaccines a week, that would put you at about, not all of them are going to be vaccinated. So you can figure we're probably about 6 to 8 weeks down the road before that happens. We are getting a Jimmy John's. How cool. Any news on other nice sit-down restaurants like Texas Roadhouse or Olive Garden? No, Carrie Faring. River Run or a different version coming this year? That's funny. There is so the River Run, as we remember it, is not going to be happening. However, there is a version of it out there that basically is River Run without all of these special events. I am meeting with a guy tomorrow, I believe it's going to be tomorrow, that has put, and a lot of the people out in the community know him, Larry Springer. I think it's called Springer Tattoo. He's a tattoo artist. He was working on putting one together, and he said yesterday or the day before that he had run into some problems and that he's going to kind of pull back a little bit on it. I am going to go and try and meet with him tomorrow and iron out what problems he has, see if the newspaper can help, see if I can help. I'm going to, we all have our ideas on what the city government is about. But I've had a lot of luck sitting down with the representatives of our city government, whether it's city council or the mayor or the city manager, and say, look, this is something that we really need. I think that we can work together and get it done. I think that once I meet with Larry Springer, that we'll be able to get something worked out on that. So hopefully we get together tomorrow. He says he's doing a full back tattoo tomorrow, Jeff, so he's going to be a little tired.
Not on your back, though.
Not on my back. And he may be tired, but how do you think that guy getting that full, or lady getting that full back tattoo is going to feel?
He's going to hurt.
Yeah. When is the Winter Expo? Oh, thanks for the softball, Carrie Faring. The Winter Expo is March 11th at the Anderson Fieldhouse. We're selling booths right now. I think that I heard today that we're somewhere around 70 booths sold already. We're about 3 weeks out, and it is going to be hopefully bigger and better than ever. We got COVID protocols in place for everyone. There's going to be sanitizing stations. There's going to be social distancing. It's a great event. Jeff and I are going to be moving this whole studio here down there. We're going to be doing live interviews from it. We're going to be streaming the crowds from it. I'm going to be randomly snagging people out of their booths and bringing them into our studio to interview them. We're going to be doing a bunch of those types of things.
Timer.
What is the timer for?
Our 30-minute mark.
Oh, all right. So I got about 6.5 minutes left. Anybody else have any more questions? Did I miss any, Jeff?
No, but we need more questions, guys. We got 34 people in here. I know people have questions for you.
I have one for you. This morning we talked about Malk basketball, 11-0. They are playing Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night. And I got a message today from their coach, Scott Neal, who said that.
Breaking news here.
He said school will now allow 250 fans per the email he received. So if you want to see a game at Malk, you can go.
Yay.
So I asked him how they're playing Williams. And Williams is one of the top in their division as well. I thought that the people that they beat yesterday was going to be a real competitive game for them, and they beat them by like 50. So I asked him, how are you guys matching up with Williams? He said it's going to be a tough game. They're good. So, the team that they played yesterday was ranked number 11 in the division in 1A, and I got to believe that Malk is ranked number 1 in 1A. So, how much is a booth for the Winter Expo food booth? That is, I believe it's $125. I don't think anything. Now,
Is there different packages though? I mean,
well, no. I mean there are major sponsorships, like Living Waters Hospice is our major sponsor. All right, so they paid something else. But you also have $500 sponsors, and you got $150 sponsors. Those are $125 booths. But there are allowing food booths outside. So I don't think that any of those have signed. I haven't heard that they have any of those signed. I don't know if we're charging for them or not, but we're also not getting any benefit from them, and they will be outside. So we'll see.
But what about a 10 by 10 booth? How much, they want to know how much would that cost them?
That booth is $125. Okay. And you can call, if you're looking for a booth, you can either call your sales rep, if you have a sales rep here. If you don't have a sales rep, you can call Carrie Faring. She's our digital marketing person. Or you can call Nancy. Yeah, call the Mohave Daily News, but you call Nancy Novak. She's the head of our sales department. She can help you out as well. The bridge going in by the field house, any updates? Yes, there is a bridge going in out just right by the field house.
John, that's not an update.
That's not an update? No. It's not done? Is that an update?
That's an update.
The road there looks like it's pretty well done. I think that they said that they got as far as they can without infringing on the other stuff that they're going to be do there. The exciting part about that is I met several months ago with the guy that owns the property that is west of the field house. So you have the field house, and then next to it you have a road that is running north and south. It's on the other side of the parking lot there. On the other side of that is the property that is it's owned by this individual, and he was able to go and get it all rezoned for commercial and residential. So the idea is that somebody, a developer, come in, or somebody really wealthy and motivated to help our area, Elio Khalif, comes in and puts up condos and shopping and a river walk and
a mall,
some sort of Pirates Cove kind of thing, maybe, all that kind of stuff. So, all right, we only got about 2.5 minutes left.
Yep. The fencing.
Fencing is up around the Chamber Community Park. Are they getting ready to start charging again to get into launch? Yes, that is true. We don't know what the time frame on is on that yet, but they will fire that up again for this summer. Only for people that are not residents of Bullhead City.
And I can add to that. I believe the reason why the fences are up now is to keep people from going in there during the night.
Yeah. Call 928-296-8493. Shall be thankful for the great weather we have compared to the rest of the country. That's absolutely true. I got, my mother is in the south, down in Arkansas.
Oh boy.
I always want to say Alabama. I believe she's in Arkansas, and she got snow. And she was telling me how cold it is, and I said, "You don't have to tell me. It's supposed to get down to 50 tonight." And then she sent me
And then you got laughed at.
She sent me an angry face, and I think that was the end of it. So, all right, I think we're gonna wrap it up. For some reason, I can't get past the comments on here. So,
Well, I got them. We've answered them all.
have we?
Yep.
All right, good.
We're good.
We are going to, I think that this one, no sites will allow you to register today, yet there was much hype about it. It is impossible to ever hope to book an appointment. Shirley, I will check into that when it's over, but the county has declared that as of today, 65 and over are allowed to. So let me check into that. I will talk to Michelle Vo over at D Flat Pharmacy, and I'll talk to Grace Hecht. If you are friends with Grace Hecht on here, she's the hashtag Make Bullhead Better person. Check with her. She'll be able to help you as well. Click on the website on there and contact those people. You should be able to, as of today, book your 65 and over appointment. So, all right, everyone, we're going to get going. Before they cut us off here, we only got a few more seconds. So I want to thank everyone that provided questions. And we're going to try and do this more often. Probably next Wednesday, we'll give another crack at it.
Give it a shot. Yeah, we'll see if we can get some more questions in here.
Yes. Thanks, Jeff.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.